Welcome back, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we are going to do a comparison between 3 Springbank whiskeys, and because I have a 9-year-old Local Barley, a 19-year-old Fresh Sherry, and the king, or at least one of the kings, Springbank, the 25-year-old vintage vintage 2018. I figured I would bring the Springbank expert, Keith, from the Malted Man Cave.
I want to go that far, but I do love me some Springbank.
So for the first time, we're going to do a comparison review. Not really so much so in the previous sense where we're comparing 2 whiskeys, and we figure if someone's buying you a drink at the bar, which one would you rather pick, cost not being a thing. We got sent some samples from one of my subscribers and a recent friend. D2 Silv is his tag on YouTube and on some of the other whiskey groups. Dustin, man,
thanks, buddy.
Thank you, my friend. Always a good time seeing you. We drove in Cincinnati. We went to this little place called The Pub, was chatting it up with few people there. That we got some free drinks.
Nice.
Balvenie, or not Balvenie, Blanton single barrel, barrel pick, cask strength. It was a delicious one.
How close were you guys to the party source?
6 miles.
Gotcha. I'm excited to try that one because obviously I've had all of the most recent, more modern Local Barleys I've had. I think you have too, right?
Yeah, I've had the 16. I bought the 16, gave it to you. You bought the 10, you gave it to me. We also tried, I have the 11 and this is the 9. So we have a Local Barley, we have a 19-year-old Fresh Sherry, and then we have just a standard 25-year-old, the 2018 vintage. So D2 Silv, thank you, my friend. You were extremely generous to give us these samples. And not that I don't a lot of times review samples, but A, it's Springbank. B,
when it's Springbank 25, we'll make an exception.
When it's Springbank 25, we'll figure out a way to work it into a review somehow. So what we're going to do, from my right going left, or your left going right, what we're going to do is have all 3 of the whiskeys. And again, the one on the far left will be the 9-year-old Local Barley. The one in the middle will be the 19-year-old Fresh Cask. And then the one on the end will be the 25-year-old 2018. Now, it's easy to kind of tell because the 19-year-old Fresh Cask is going to be by far the darkest whiskey. So this is the 9-year-old Local Barley, kind of a straw color. This is a typical heavily sherried whiskey in this 19-year-old. And Keith, a whiskey that I cannot wait for you to try, the Springbank 25.
Thank you, sir.
The king of Springbank.
Thank you, Dustin.
The king of Springbank.
The king of Springbank.
Should.
You know, as much as I rep them out, they haven't sent me any samples ever.
Haven't sent you nothing?
Springbank. I've been preaching the gospel.
They've given you
I
nothing.
demand to be acknowledged.
And who gave it to you? D2 Silv gave it to you.
The man, D.
Thank you.
Chill,
Thank you, Dustin.
he is an awesome guy, man.
Oh, dude.
Love
yeah.
Dustin.
Yeah, it's a super good guy. He hooked me up with that Highland Park 25, bought it for me, sat on it for a month until I came here, and then I showed up with him. Didn't think to bring him any samples, and then he was like, "Oh, here you go, man. Here's a bunch of Springbanks for you." Like, oh my God, I'm a bad friend. I'm a bad friend. Is that what it's come to? Okay, so let me run them down real quick. The 25-year-old, which will be on our far left, your far right, as you're looking at this video for both of us. This one here is 46% ABV. The 19-year-old Fresh Sherry is cask strength 53.7% ABV. Again, 19-year-old. And then the 9-year-old Local Barley is 57.7. Is that both 57.7? 53.7 on the 19-year-old, 57.7 on the 9.
Did you happen to catch the? Oh my word!
What?
I get
what?
I get a Sprite note on the Springbank 9 Local Barley.
It's the first time I'm smelling it.
It's like Sprite, like the pop.
It's very zingy. Okay, so let's get started.
So I just I've never smelled a whiskey smell like Sprite before. It just.
Dustin, did you fill this up with Sprite on me?
Put some Sprite in here, bro.
Now, I saw you pour the 19-year-old sherry cask and the 25-year-old, but I didn't see you pour the 9-year-old.
I mean, it's not like this huge prominent note, but you get banana Laffy Taffy, slight little pepper, cedar wood.
Oh, buddy, this is Local Barley. I can smell that grainy vanilla. Yes, I can smell that grainy vanilla that now I recognize is in every Local Barley.
Every Local Barley.
Like, grain is mixed with vanilla, and it's just
I'm telling
intermingling.
you. Do you not smell the Sprite at all?
No, I don't.
Man,
But that's all right.
so prevalent.
Yeah, I'm getting vanilla. I'm getting wheat. I'm getting barley. I'm giving just a little bit of.
The peat to me is like cedar wood, like shavings almost.
So it's that type of oak, like it's tore it out of the wood for you.
Yeah,
It does smell very woody for only being 9 years old.
surprisingly so.
Yeah, surprisingly.
But I think sometimes that is actually the peat.
You think that's what we're smelling there?
I think so.
I mean, how heavily is the normal Springbank peated? Like 15 ppm?
I used
10?
to, so I think normal Springbanks are around 25, 30.
If I can find any.
Long row, so I know the hours that it's on the peat, so long row is on there for 48 hours, they peat it. Springbank, I
move
think.
up the back. That's the middle back.
I think,
Move up to the Springbank.
I think Springbank is like 7 or 8 hours, I think. And obviously Hazelburn is not peated at all.
Yeah.
It's the best distillery in the world, bro.
I know that's what you think. Well, if I can figure out how heavily peated the 9-year-old is, I'll put it here. If not, I won't.
I guess it'd be 20-ish.
All right, so let's move on to the 19-year-old fresh sherry. Try to breathe some fresh air before I get into this one.
It's like sour maple syrup.
Ooh.
It's like sourness mixed with maple syrup.
Boy, I tell you what, you don't have to clean your nose at all to pick up the notes on this. Man, that is sweet. Molasses.
A little bit of chocolate, like fudge again.
Yeah. Dirty uncooked dough.
Yeah.
Uncooked dough left in the bathtub for some strange reason.
Dirty though?
Dirty dough.
Dirty.
Like it doesn't smell brown, but it looks brown.
I mean, there's definitely that sooty characteristic that I get with most Springbanks.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking when I say
Soot.
dirty.
Soot. Yeah.
It's dough not in the bathtub. It's dough in the fireplace.
For real, actually.
Yeah.
That's how it really is what it is.
Dough in front of the fireplace when the fireplace has gone cold in the morning and it has a little bit of embers still crackling in the back.
So beautiful.
And maybe just that sweetness of sherry is something that I'm not quite picking up because I've only had this one other time and I'm not used to it yet.
One thing that I love about Springbank is...
Well, just one?
Just one thing.
One of 119?
One thing that we'll talk about this evening.
One of 137.
is that I like sour stuff. Do you like sour stuff?
It depends what it is. Now, you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me a little bit of the 18-year-old where you get like a little bit of vinegar.
Did I give you that?
You said something about chips. I'm getting vinegar on French fries.
Yeah.
Like you ever go to Five Guys? You ever go to Five Guys? You know the big thick cup fries in Five Guys?
You put vinegar on them.
You put malt vinegar
love malt
on
vinegar.
Five Guys fries that is lightly salted. I'm getting a little bit of that.
So that was kind of where I was going, was that what I love about Springbank is that a lot of their whiskey, not all of them, they have this distinct sourness or acidic, like balsamic vinaigrette, you know, and then slash malt vinegar that I love.
The more heavily sherried ones, I definitely get malt vinegar on all of those heavily sherried ones. Again,
Is that one of the things that do you not like that quite as much as I do?
I don't think there's anything about Springbank I like quite as much as you, but that doesn't mean I don't enjoy it.
But
like,
I'm asking about specifically the malt vinegar now.
I love malt vinegar. Every time I get fries,
Do you
I
like
put malt
that
vinegar.
mixed in with this whiskey?
Yeah, I think it complements it nice. Malt vinegar on
I
top
love
of
having like
ashy dough.
unique stuff in my whiskey. Yeah, like obviously I love sweet. I want there to be some sweetness in it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little dryness, maybe a little oak or peat.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get something weird like a umami, like an acidic or balsamic vinaigrette or malt vinegar, or you get like bouillon cubes like I get with Lagavulin, or just like those umami or creamy chicken noodle soup broth.
Sure.
It just makes everything so interesting.
Well,
That's why I like Lagavulin so much as well.
Again, it's how it's done. You know, you can have those flavors and it not be done well and you don't like it. It's sickly. To where, you know, with this Springbank, again, anything done well, I can appreciate. I'm not putting malt vinegar on McDonald's French fries. I'm only putting that on Five Guys French fries. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It has to be the right French fry. It has to be the right
Have
malt
you ever
vinegar.
tried that? I gotta try malt vinegar on McDonald's French fries. And let's do a review.
To be fair, I've never tried that. It's just
So what if
disgusting.
it's amazing? We've been missing out this whole time.
Then we have to do a re-review of this.
We're gonna have.
We'll have Dustin have to send us more samples. All right, moving on to the 25 year. You ready to put down that fresh cask? turn our nose to the crown of the Springbank normal lineup.
A lot more subtle.
Yes.
But not necessarily in a bad way. That can be in a good way, in a complexity, like...
No, if this is a Ferrari, this is a Bentley.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like luxury.
Yes.
Subtle, classy.
Oh my God, there is the strongest flower note in this. Like a lily or a lilac. Not quite a lilac. I have lilies out front. They only bloom like right in the first in the spring. Mm-hmm. And like the petals are thick. They're almost like velvety thickness. Like the ones I have, they're yellow. And I tell you what, you get in there and you smell them. As long as a bee isn't in there. Like there is a strong floral note in this. I feel like I'm smelling flowers.
Slight frosting or white chocolate.
There's some very dessert right there. There's also
it's like a cardboard note.
I was gonna say
oaky, cardboardy.
I was gonna say
that I get with Bowmore sometimes.
Almost like a glue. Like so as you know, I'm in packaging. Like we make boxes in back. So like we take a sheet and the machine cuts it down and then we have to run it through a gluer. So like after like the cardboard's kind of warm and we run it through the gluer because the glue's hot. Not that I do it. Like I walk back and I watch people do it. I don't know how to do technically anything. I just talk. But like that fresh glue on fresh.
I let the slaves do it in the back.
No.
This guy.
One of them's the owner's son, man. You know, everyone has to make boxes. I just wouldn't be good at it. The owner's son told me.
Smell that.
The owner's son told me one time, I'd fire you in the first day. You can't tape a box. You can't do anything. But yeah, that smell of when the hot glue hits the cardboard and they start to like to palletize them, it smells like that. And a little bit, and just, I still get that undercooked dough, but it's way in the background. And I do get that sootiness, but again, way in the background.
Smells like applesauce with cinnamon. You ever had put cinnamon inserted in applesauce?
I think every human being has had that.
Kids don't eat that stuff anymore, man.
No? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Kids don't. I don't feel like kids eat that as much as they used to. My kids don't. I've tried.
So yeah, applesauce with the brown sugar on top because there's a sweetness to it. But it's a subtle mistress, the 25 Springbank. 46% ABV. It's the lowest ABV of the three we have here. So it doesn't jump out of the glass the way these other two cask strength ones do.
It doesn't.
But the complexity is just all over the place. I mean, there is literally
a lot of floral, man.
Yeah, when I say it's like flowers, you know what I mean?
Flowers, like I can't talk today. Flowers are really prominent.
This is like one of the first things I got. It's like when you walk in, like when you know that you did something wrong at home, and you're like, okay, I gotta get flowers on the way back. So you
like
go,
today?
Yeah, it's like you go into a florist, not like the Kroger, like you do it right. You go into a florist. And you walk in there and they say...
It truly does. It's so floral.
Yes, it is.
This might be the most floral.
Like right when you walk in, I'm getting all of that. Mm-hmm. Again, I don't even know what flower it is. It's not like quite lilac, but it's daisies, it's lilies, it's...
You know what I'm not getting as much?
What's that?
I'm not getting the sugar dough, like cookie dough, like I normally get as much.
It's slight.
It's barely.
Yeah, there's
it's barely.
Just a twinge of soot. Like I said earlier, just a twinge of uncooked dough. But you're right. It's not. There's no like vinegar smell or anything like that.
There's no diesel fuel like you get sometimes.
No, I mean there's just nothing left in here but just purity.
Yeah.
Purity of smell.
This is really good. Like very, very good.
It's almost like
it's an honor to try it.
It's almost like if an angel had a spirit, it would smell like this. Just pure.
I actually wish they would have used a little bit more active sherry cask in this. Personally.
Oh, buddy, I'll tell you what.
It's really good.
Now I'm getting a honey note.
Don't you think it could be even better though with more sherry?
I don't know. This is what it is. Are you getting the honey now?
I am. Almost like Honey Nut Cheerios. There's a barley.
Yeah.
Honey Nut Cheerios. Okay, that was actually.
It's moving. It's moving around.
Yeah, this one takes time. Don't judge it on the first couple minutes.
No,
This needs at least. It does actually need 25 minutes, I think.
To open up. All right, so let's go into the taste.
Is that honey nut Cheerio that I'm getting now? That's really
It just came
really
up.
pleasant. It just came up.
Yeah, just the honey just came up.
Oh yeah. Now this is starting to remind me of almost like a Balvenie Ton or a Balvenie 25.
Oh yeah, that candied honey.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's in my
Obviously,
closet.
'cause
You
that's
know.
I tried it here.
Yeah, you know.
I'm just
I know
making
what
sure
you're
you
talking
know about that note.
Yeah, now it's getting more sweet. The flowers are still there.
All right, I take back my initial impressions. This is getting better.
All right, so we got to start drinking.
I still think I would have liked a little bit more sherry, but wow, it's good. All right.
We're going back to the, and we're going to put a little bit of water. We're going back to the 9-year-old Local Barley, 57.7% ABV. Now this has opened up a little bit. I'm still getting a lot of the same flavors on the nose. Let's see what we're getting with the palate. Honey, barley,
Carrots. There's a carrot note.
How's
I got it. So did I give you the Springbank 12 green?
No.
It's an 100% like organic whiskey, and it was 100% bourbon.
I think we may have shared a good dram or two, but I didn't review it.
There is like, like the sweetness that you get from a carrot. It tastes like that to me. Mixed obviously with all the vanilla, the banana Laffy Taffy. You get a little bit of the soot, the cedar wood shavings. You get
Cedar wood shavings for sure.
What was the other note that I was thinking of? Oh man, it's good.
It is. It has less vanilla and honey in it than say the 10-year-old did or the 16-year-old. So it's unique in that way. It's more oak driven than the other Local Barleys that I had. More oak and char driven. It's almost like they extra toasted the barrel on this one compared to other Local Barleys.
But then there's that sugar dough cookies, vanilla, and a little bit of carrots. And it's actually pleasant to me.
You like the carrots? I'm not getting the carrot.
A little bit of carrot sweetness.
I'm almost getting like sweet potato pie.
Yeah, I could totally see that too.
You know
There's
what I
some
mean?
kind of something more vegetable-y, but then sweetness, like a carrot.
Something
or-
was grown in the ground as opposed to
Exactly.
on a tree. You know what I mean?
Exactly. 100%.
All right, let's stay on this since we added a little bit of water to it because I don't want to go back and do 2 tastings. So let's just stay on this one as far as adding a little bit of water in the tasting. But for the most part, I think we knocked this one down. This isn't the experience the 10-year that you gave to me was. Excuse me, that was poorly worded. This isn't as good of a whiskey as the 10-year-old that you gave me the end of the bottle of.
Oh, that's spiky.
But there is a zesty, zingy quality to it.
Like it's not like Asian food almost, like something
It's almost like it's almost like you ever
horseradish or wasabi.
yes,
horseradish,
like wasabi zing to it
yes,
almost.
exactly.
With
But with all the, but it's got pleasant like the cedar wood shavings. It's got vanilla, the sugar dough cookie. So it's got enough sweetness there that it's really good. Like it's really complex.
But it is not as sweet as the 10-year-old and the 16-year-old.
And I wish it was a little bit more sweeter. But I appreciate it's very unique, and I'm glad to have tasted it.
Well, this is a good take on Local Barley in a different way. It's focusing more on the
black
cask.
pepper and spice.
I'm telling you,
Woo!
if they didn't extra char this barrel,
What?
there's something extra as far as the char of this barrel.
Horseradish in there.
It stings. You know what I mean? Tickles the nostrils. What movie was that from?
Anchor Man.
Yeah, stings the nostrils. I'm not gonna lie to you, Brian. That smells like gasoline.
Don't really know how to say this, but I'm kind of a big deal. People know me.
60% of the time,
It works every time. All right.
Okay, so moving along to the 19-year-old fresh cask Springbank, 53.7% ABV.
Are we giving marks of all these?
No, we're just talking about it. I mean, I think this Local Barley, if I was going to give it a score with this limited amount of time I have with it, I'd say 88 or 89.
Yep.
You're there with me? Okay, so we want to score,
87,
guys?
88, 89.
That's where you are. Keep sliding out of frame. Come on back. Come on back, Springbank. All right.
Oh, this one's gotten a lot
Oh,
better.
boy. Oh, boy.
Balsamic vinaigrette acidity mixed with fudge,
This reminds me of
marshmallows.
This reminds me of the 18, but a better version of the standard 18. This reminds me of the 18 on, this is an overused phrase, but the 18 on steroids almost.
Yeah, but this is a lot more sherry than the 18 is.
A
18.
ton?
The 18, man, it's like I got a lot of blueberries type stuff.
Yeah, I know you saw blueberries on that one.
On the
Yeah,
Springbank
a little
18.
bit. I think it's the label more than anything putting that in your head. But
It could be.
I will tell you this.
I said that in the review.
Did you?
I said it may be psychosomatic somehow seeing the purple bluish looking label, but I don't know. I think it does.
I tell you what, this night I've had this before. Dustin gave me a little bit of it before, and this might be my favorite Springbank I've ever had in my life.
It's really good.
It's so good.
He gave me a sample of this when we met down in Cincinnati.
Oh, thanks for bringing it.
I brought you plenty tonight.
All right,
I brought you plenty.
I'm kidding.
Gave him the
I remember when I first
Whistle
tasted
Pig
these.
10, Long Row 11, Pinot Noir, Deuce 12.
You always bring good stuff, buddy. Thank you. But I remember when I first tasted these, I'm like, oh man, Keith's gonna love this.
Yeah, this is good.
So good. This to me is a huge step up from the normal 18. And they're similar.
It's better than the 18 for sure. I like the 18, but this is better.
It's almost like they're sisters, same family, so they're
It's
close.
way more hot.
This one's the 9, the other one's the 6.
Or a 7.
6 or 7. They had different fathers.
Raisins a little bit.
Yeah.
Maple syrup. Sour maple syrup, if that could be a thing.
That when I first smelled this, that was the first thing I said. Maple syrup.
Maple syrup.
It almost smells like. Sometimes it almost comes off like a really high end rum, as far as the sweetness in the smell.
Is there
All right.
is there a nuttiness in there a little bit?
There might be a little bit of nuttiness. All right, this is supposed to be the taste. What do you get?
Peanut butter?
If you don't like that, you don't like whiskey. My God, that's good.
All that.
That sherry cask was just whatever they used was just an incredible cask.
There's a healthy amount of soot and peat and charred oak.
The traditional,
Wow,
what I
that's
think
stronger
of traditional Springbank flavors, the traditional Springbank flavors come alive on the palate when you as soon as you swallow this one. Am I wrong?
No.
It's that soot. It's that undercooked dough.
Sugar cookie dough.
It's dense, concentrated.
Wow.
Man,
Sour vinaigrette, malt vinegar, maple syrup.
and just a good old fashioned
It's like-
sherry traditional notes. I mean, I'm getting a little bit of on the palate, a little bit of fudge cake, a little bit of fig, maybe date.
Even into a little bit of a cough syrupy note.
Vicks 44.
You know what I'm talking? Isn't that kind of
Well, the viscosity of it is so.
something? It's like cough syrup in a good way. It's not. I know sometimes cough syrup doesn't always taste good, but cough syrup in a good way.
The tussin.
Yeah.
My grandfather thought everything Robitussin could fix anything. Broken leg, throw some Robitussin on it. It tastes like
Robitussin and duct tape. If you can't duck it,
Robitussin will work it out. Got muscle soreness? Robitussin.
no, Shaq does icy hot.
Yeah. He does it every commercial.
Yeah.
He
I
endorses
love
like
Shaq.
73 different things.
Do you like Shaq?
Of course.
Love Shaq.
He was a guy who was. He was one of the few players you saw, like from the first time you saw him, like, oh, you can't stop this dude.
Yeah, no.
Like, you couldn't physically stop him. He's the biggest, strongest athlete to ever play basketball.
Ever.
We can go down
A rabbit hole.
the blue rabbit hole of this. All right. 19 fresh cask. You want to add anything as far as the tasting note on this one? If I had to give this a whiskey score, I'm telling you, I'm 91 out of 100 all day on this. Maybe 92.
Maybe even 92.
I mean, it's right up there with some of the most. For it being less than 20 years old, for me to say 92 on a whiskey that's not at least 21 years old is a strong statement.
Yeah.
This is about as good of a sub 20-year-old whiskey as I've ever tried.
Yeah. It's really good.
And again, this one just keeps dancing around as far as complexity too. My God, it's good.
It's pretty drying though too. It's kind of got that Highland Park drying into sweetness, into drying again,
No, you're
back
right.
into sweetness.
It does. Yeah, there is some of that. Again, whatever sherry cask they used on this just was an amazing cask.
Seems like it.
I don't know why they picked 19 years. I'm assuming because they said, okay, this is perfect. Let's put this in a bottle.
Yeah.
Because 19 is a weird year.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you what, and Dustin has like 6 of the same bottle. He has like 6 of like these fresh
Where do
sherries.
you live, Dustin?
He lives in Cincinnati. I'm gonna give you his address.
Actually, I think I have. I think I have his address. I think I have it. I'm gonna tell
everyone where to find the good Springbanks.
I have one friend of mine that is so paranoid, and I'm not gonna say their name, like ridiculously so, about like his address. I'm like, dude, nobody cares about your house.
Like, dude, you're not that important.
And most of the people that are watching these videos, they're not like the type of people that are gonna steal. They got enough money to enjoy whiskey.
Yeah, are you saying they're not burglars? Yes.
But like, you need to chill out. He's like, I don't want to post this on there. I'm like, dude.
I remember I did a live stream. Me and Billy did a live stream with a certain guy, and you were kind of saying what we did for a living. I was like, "What do you do for a living?" He's like, Didn't know it was that serious.
Oh gosh.
Unbeknownst to him, he wouldn't be doing it for very much longer. All right, let's move on to this last one, this gem, the 25-year-old.
Mike. 25 it is.
I'm going to clean my palate. Take a little sip of water because I want to really enjoy this 25-year-old.
Oh, yeah, this has gotten even better.
Okay, I'm going to say a note that I don't know what you're going to agree with, but this is Bananas Foster.
I definitely agree with bananas.
Okay, but banana is a young
banana
note.
Pudding.
Yes.
Yeah, banana Foster. Yeah.
At City Barbecue, they have this banana pudding that is just basically diced up bananas and custard and pie crust with whipped cream on top. And I'm getting a lot of that.
Definitely a custardy note too.
It's creme brulee. Man, I'm glad we got this time to open up.
Butterscotch, floral again. All right, what we got to do the palate?
My goodness, this opened up lovely.
Yeah, this got a lot better. I take back some of what I was saying at first. It does, but it unusually takes longer than most whiskeys. Would you agree?
It's like an old snake. It has to uncoil.
For sure.
You know what I mean? It's just a king cobra that's been alive for 50 years, taking its time.
Something about this actually reminds me of. This is like maybe even a better version, more subtle version than the Springbank 10 Local Barley.
I take it back. What I said about the 19. This is the best Springbank I've ever had.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Buttery, kind of. It's almost like if you could have like a vanilla vanilla pie with like the crust.
You know what this reminds me of?
And the little whipped cream on top.
The melting pot. They have the best desserts ever. Mm-hmm. They do this Bananas Foster that's all melted. So you have a little burner on your table if you've never been in the melting pot. It's fondue. So there's a couple courses, but the dessert course it's melted white chocolate, bananas, this nice brown sugar, and they light it on fire with amaretto.
I've been to the melting pot. I think we've only done the chocolate dip though.
It's vanilla. You got to get the specialty ones. The Bananas Foster. It's not on the menu, and neither is.
You have to ask for it.
But they always have it. Bananas Foster and Amaretto Meltdown are the best two. But this reminds me of that Bananas Foster with white chocolate cake, and they give you like pound cake and mushrooms. Marshmallows. So these marshmallows are like doused in like cookie.
So you really enjoy the melting pot.
Psychedelic melting pot. But they have like this marshmallow that has like cookie pie crust on it, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It's blonde Oreo. So they have marshmallows in dark Oreo crust or blonde Oreo crust. If you get one of those marshmallows with blonde Oreo crust and that Bananas Foster with that white chocolate, I'm getting that on this one, man.
No, I can go there with you.
Good God, that's dessert. This may be more dessert now than the Highland Park 25 that we had.
I agree.
Man, this is excellent.
Yeah.
Now, do you think it's worth $800 a bottle?
If I had the money, yes, I would. I would buy it.
Well, maybe that guy will give you his address and we can,
yeah,
go in there and.
Hello, Dustin. We need to have a chat.
We need your Springbank 25, my friend.
Right now. That's so good. Thank you again, Dustin.
Yes, thank you. This is so excellent, my friend.
Man, that's good.
Okay, so if I had to give this a whiskey score,
$800?
Something like that. I think he got it on sale for like $6.99. I don't know, Dustin. If you see this video, buddy, let me know. I think he got it on sale, but let me know what you got. I know we got the Springbank 21, the cask strength one, for like $210. as you know, I've gotten some really good deals lately. And for whatever reason, at the tail end of 19, people are giving away.
This guy's like spent over like $5,000 in the last 2 months.
$1,900. Come on now. This week. But I got some good deals.
Someone's got to feed our children money.
Feed them whiskey. feed them old Ardbeg eggs in old Highland Parks. But yeah, this Springbank 25 2018 46% ABV. It has the silver and like that purplish, royal purple colored label on it.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, that's good.
Man, it's so good. If I had to give it, okay, so limited. I've had this one other time. Limited experience with it. If I'm going to give it a whiskey score, I'm going to call it a 93 out of 100.
Dude, we must be on the same page tonight because that was exactly what I was planning on giving it before you said anything.
Well, dude, we're standing right next to each other. Of course, we're on the same page.
93.
93 out of 100.
Maybe even a 94.
Maybe even a 94. Is it as good as the Highland Park? Because there's a
to me,
similar
it's
ABV.
like, so it's like, this is like vanilla and chocolate. Highland Park 25 is like chocolate.
Yeah.
This is like vanilla. Obviously, there's other notes in there.
Yeah.
But this is like the light version.
This is the yin, and Highland Park 25 is the yang.
Exactly.
I know.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about. God, we had some good whiskeys today.
Yeah, we drank, before this video, we drank a bunch of Highland Park 25, which is probably one of our favorite whiskeys.
So we know what we're talking about when we say this is a 93.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's really good.
All right, so great Springbank day, Keith. I've been saving these samples for you, my friend, because I know you would want them. 88, 91, maybe a 92, 93 out of 100. Fantastic whiskeys. If you guys can get your hands on them, go for it. They're not going to come cheap.
No, they're not.
At all.
You can get the sometimes you can find, if you get it early, the Springbank Local Barley for a decent price.
When you say decent, what, 150? That's your version of decent? Now who's throwing caution to the wind?
If you wait too long, then they're going to be like $300, $400, $500.
Yes, absolutely. And they're good whiskeys, but I tell you what, this 25, woo.
Yeah.
It's special. It's a special whiskey.
Could you imagine this is cast strength? I was thinking like vanilla wafers.
There's so
vanilla wafers.
There's so much going on.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Dude, let me ask you this. You said you tried 1,500 single malt scotches. I've tried at least 1,000. This is top 10 whiskey I've ever had.
Mm-hmm. I'll go there with you.
Yeah. All right there. All right.
I'll go there with you.
So this wasn't been a super long one. We're about 30 minutes running here. So we had three whiskeys here. So we want to talk to you a little bit about the samples we had. But we want to thank you for once again joining me for another whiskey review. And my good friend Keith of the Malted Man Cave. So if you haven't checked his channel out, go over there and check him out. He'll have plenty of Springbanks to talk about if you were a fan of these whiskeys.
Come on down to the Malted Man Cave.
Come on down to the Springbank Malted Man Cave.
Now, I do love Klein Leash. I do love Lagavulin.
Yeah.
There's lots of other distilleries that
you have a very narrow geographical area of Scotland that you like to
I like the Highlands. Klein Leash is in the Highlands. Ben Nevis is in the Highlands.
Sure.
Campbelltown and Isle are pretty amazing.
Yes.
We'll drink to that.
Yes, very much so. All right, till next time, guys. I'll see you in the comment section. And Keith, what do we wish the folks?
Happy drinking.
Happy drinking. Have a good one.